I'm going to start here by creating a space underneath my class space, and I'm going to call it online book reviews, and I'm going to put all my blogs which are book reviews into the same space then, so we can monitor them and have a look at them. So now I've created my online book reviews space, I can start adding some content from the left hand side down here, and the first thing I'm going to do is just add a blog. Okay, so here's the blog, and what I'm looking for here is just a very simple name for it: Teddy's Reading Diary. I click OK, and the blog is created, and now it's all just about what kind of content we put into it. So I click create post, create my very first blog in there, and as you can see within Merlin you can change sizes, colours, font type, etc. Once I've done that, I can click publish, and then I've made my very first blog post within Teddy's Reading Diary, and here it is at the bottom. Every blog comes with a welcome, but we want to get rid of that, so click edit and then just click delete, and that gets rid of it and you're left with your original post. If you're going to use your blog as an online diary for reading, these categories are fantastic on the left hand side here. I've clicked the word category, and I'm actually changing the word categories now to the twits, which is the book I'm reading. So if we OK that, you can now see that one of the categories is called the twits. So every post I make now about my book called The Twits will go into that one category, which I'll show you now. So creating a post in your blog, very simple again. Create post, give it a title, but this time I'm actually going to drop in there a web link. This just gives you an example of how some of your pupils could use it to show where they've been and where they've found some of their information for you. Okay, so here I am typing away, I've put my information, and now I'm just going to drop in that hyperlink to a different place that I've found on the web that I think is interesting. And then under categories, can you see at the bottom where it says none? I'm actually going to change that now in there, and I'm going to put it to the twits. There it is. Okay, so the twits goes in and it's under publish, so now everything I read about with the twits I can categorize it. Also in the blog you've got the facility to drop in a picture. So image manager and upload as you normally do within Merlin. Select, go and find your picture, upload it, and then insert it into your blog. Don't forget at the bottom to choose the twits for your category, but you can always go back into your post and recategorize it if you do forget. So don't worry about that, which is great about the blog. Publish that, and then there it is. So now you've got in there a good picture, a good web link, and some of the information. So already your blog is really growing now. And check out those categories. Got the twits down the side there. So if I click on that, everything I've put into that category, I can look at it. So if you're looking back at what they wrote about one certain book, you can do that. Clicking on categories again, look, category 2, I click edit, and this time I'm going to put in there my favourite ever children's book, Kensuke's Kingdom. Okay, simple so far, and what we've looked at there is just the basics of how to use a blog for the online reading diary, the idea of categorizing it. So let's go back to that top space now, the online book review space, and down the side you can see there you've got Teddy's Reading Diary. Okay, so now we're going to get clever. I'm going to go to the bottom of the blog and click on this RSS feed. Once I've done that, at the top, if you copy the URL, so we've copied the address at the top of this blog. Now when we go back to that top space we can actually get it to feed onto this area here. Once we've done this you'll see why it looks pretty good. Click edit, and then we're looking to add a web part, and one of the web parts is an RSS reader. So it's actually going to take that little bit of code that we got from that blog and it's going to read it and put it back onto this top space. Now this might seem a little bit technical, but please bear with us on this because you'll see the fruits of it now. Click on RSS Reader and that puts it onto that top space. So here it is here. So clicking on Open the Tool pane gives you the tool pane in Merlin down that right hand side. So can you see here we're looking at the RSS feed URL. So we're going to paste now that URL that we had. It's a ridiculously long address, but don't worry about that. Merlin will be able to pick it up and it will feed it back into this top space. So look at the top there. In appearance I've now changed it to Teddy's Reading Diary, and once I click apply that will now come through into our top space. So we click publish and here it is. There is Teddy's Reading Diary. There's the blog and it's feeding into that top space through an RSS reader. So it's down the left hand side, but it's also slap bang in the centre of that space so that your readers can see it. You're giving it pride of place on that space and you're saying look at what that person has written. Impact, definitely. If you want to, you can have the choice that you can add comments to a blog. As schools have discussed what they want pupils to be writing in there, the impact of those comments can be absolutely amazing on creative writing. So there we go, a simple starter on how to blog. One possibility of using it as a reading diary. Now remember, you could replicate this in that one space, not only Teddy's, but you could have Sarah's in there and Jenny's, and all of those different blogs can be coming into that one area and having a massively enriching, powerful place where your creative writing is going on through blogs in Merlin.